Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Sunday edition of Morning Scone, presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Parish Construction and Roofing, need an orthopedist. Go to Brock, need a roof, call Parish. Unique physique, unique aesthetics and wellness, Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com. Boatcock Brothers, premium cigars. Use the code MAT15, MAT15, MAT15 for 15% off of your order. Okay, y'all. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hope everybody's day is off to an awesome start. Hope you had a great Saturday. Tiger basketball got a win in overtime against South Carolina. Garrett Nussmeier wins the Senior Bowl MVP. Awesome to see Nuss get out there, rip it a little bit, and run in for a touchdown, have that success. We've talked about Nuss kind of being the guy with really the most to gain in this draft class, certainly from the LSU perspective, maybe quite honestly in the entire draft, considering he was at one time sort of a projected first round pick, and that injury limitation, the uncertainty around whatever obviously cost him the last month of the season and wasn't as productive. But anyway, this is a great opportunity for him to go prove himself. I also loved, if you noticed, but after the game, Nuss was wearing a Saints beanie. Now it makes sense. His dad is a OC for the Saints, and his head coach at the Senior Bowl is Joel Thomas, the Saints staffer. So, but still like to see Nuss wearing the Saints beanie. So good day, all things considered. Tiger basketball gets a win in overtime. Nussmeier wins Senior Bowl MVP. J.R. Belton promoted to assistant general manager for LSU football. Not sure if you saw that. It was one of the things yesterday that I was kind of working on before we got started. I was kind of telling y'all it was percolating. I'd gotten that news yesterday morning. I think it's a great thing. Like, Belton is from North Louisiana, played at West Monroe, played at Louisiana Tech, has worked at Tech, Virginia, and then was hired at LSU in the spring of 2021 in a recruiting capacity. This past year, he got promoted to director of a player personnel director, and obviously brings a ton of value to the staff. And so Kiffin's retaining him as assistant general manager. So, it's interesting how they were going to make it work, because so many of the staffers that they wanted to retain, Lane brought guys who had that role. Okay, baby. Little baby bum cat.
Come on.
There you go. Okay, can you take it to your playmat, please? Okay, we'll see you later. All right, we'll see you later. Bye. True. All right, let's say some good mornings. A lot of you are going to ask the Just Different hoodie. This is the one I told you about a couple weeks or last week. Whenever we got it up, I have it pinned if you're interested in the chat on YouTube. And I think I dropped the link in the comments. So I love it. It's like that old LSU logo with the block LSU and the script tigers underneath it. It's that concept, and it's the Just Different. And it really pops. I like it. I think I like it best on the white. They have a purple, a gold, and a white, and they have the same in the t-shirts, but they also have a gray t-shirt. So I bought a gray t-shirt and the white hoodie. But anyway, got it pinned if you're interested. Go Goat, good morning. Tim, good morning. Hey, Brad, good morning. Bo, good morning. Austin, great to see Nuss have a comeback for the draft. Imagine we've been healthy. So I'm going to do so Austin, I actually am. I started doing my notes on it. I'm going to do an episode, like a butterfly effect, what if episode of Locked On today on that. Like, what if Nuss had been healthy this year? What might have happened? Okay. Because I do think if Nussmeier were healthy, I do think LSU would have beaten Ole Miss. If you remember how that game played out. Because there were 2 touchdowns that should have been there, that were there with the right throw. Anyway, I'm going to give it away. But yes, I do think, and then you could start to connect the dots to say, well, how does that continue on throughout the season? Ole Miss then would not have been in the playoff. Kiffin at Florida, I think, is a very real possibility at that point. Without Ole Miss in the playoff, then who does make the playoff? Notre Dame very likely is in at that point. Anyway, there's a whole connect the dots. Anyway, we'll do that later on Locked On. Thomas, Chuck, what's good, man? Let's see. If only he could have ran for a couple Yep. Good chilly morning. Yeah, it's true. Hope everybody is doing okay with all the cold. Hey, Rocco, good morning. Goodwood, WOOD, not WOULD. And yes, highly recommend all men go get your hormone levels checked. And go find out more about peptides. I had a guy message me yesterday that he went to Goodwood because he heard me talking about BPC 157. He ruptured his Achilles, and he heard me talking about BPC. It's good for recovery and everything. I was like, yes, go there, try BPC 157, inject it into the site of your surgery and your Achilles every day, and watch the magic happen. It's unreal. Hey, Kelly Gross, Thomas, Dave 48. Hey, Mike, Damon, Leon, good morning, everybody. Let's see. Morning, Matt. It's draft season. So hand size, top of conversation. I didn't even see where Nuss's hand size came in. What was it? Like, isn't 9 inches like the threshold or whatever? Eight and 6/8. Ooh, 8 and 6/8. The weird thing is I have giant hands. Like, I think mine are mine is like 11 inches because they measure from thumb to pinky like that. I have giant hands. Clearly, that means I could be an NFL quarterback, right? Miss my calling. Brengolio, good morning. David, good morning, Matt. Let's see. Do you remember who was the only running back LSU signed from Independence High School? Well, I know they signed LeBrandon Tofield from Independence High School. Is he the only one ever? Raid, Ole Miss saying LSU big trouble. LSU's a cheater. Okay. If you missed it, I did publish a Locked On episode yesterday going through sort of everything I was able to gather on the report from the CSC or the report from The Athletic about the CSC investigating LSU. And actually, they're not even investigating LSU. They're investigating one LSU athlete, not in football, about non-deal reporting, potentially. It would be cool. The Saints trade Rattler somewhere, have Nuss as a backup. I would love that. I don't think that's going to happen. I think Nuss is probably going to come off the board at potentially in round 1, depending on how the next month goes, next 2 months go. But I certainly don't think he's lasting until day 3. I think that's probably a safe assumption. He's probably a day 2 pick now. And I don't know if the Saints are going to pull the trigger on a quarterback in day 2. Bubba, Hunter, Chris, good morning. Nuss's 2025 go down as one of the biggest football what-ifs. Mettenberger 2013. What's the what-if on Mettenberger's 2013? I mean, Mettenberger threw for 3,000 yards, Jarvis and Odell each had 1,000 yards receiving. Jeremy Hill had 1,000 yards rushing. It was a great offense. What's the what if on 2013? I'm not following that. Go this way. The bigger what if was the biggest what if I think in LSU is Ryan Perrilloux. If Perrilloux doesn't get kicked off the team in 2008, well, Nick Saban, right? If Nick Saban never leaves, but we all get that. But if Perrilloux doesn't get kicked off the team in 2008, and you go from national champion Matt Flynn 07 to Perrilloux in 08, instead of Andrew Hatch, Jarrett Lee, of course, young Jarrett Lee threw all those interceptions, and that's when Les went into a shell. After that, he just made the determination he was never going to lose games like that again. And that's when they just started relying on defense, running the ball. They did so successfully. I mean, they got back to a national championship game in 2011. Should have won it, but should have won the championship. Bama should have never gotten a redo. But that's the biggest what if. But Nussmeier maybe a little behind that. The Bettenberger thing I don't get. Hey Phil, good morning. 17 in Nashville. I think we're up to 34 right now. Oh, but I'm gonna tell you, last night was crazy here. I took my dad and Gramps to dinner last night. Shout out my niece Sophia, who you all have gotten to see over the years of summer. Sophia is a freshman at St. Joseph's Academy, and she's on the cheer team. And they were in Disney for nationals, and they won nationals. They won the national championship last night. So, old baby Sophia, national champ. Congrats to the girls. Well, Erica and her sister went to her mom's house to go watch the championship. So I took my dad and Gramps to dinner last night. But anyway, it was like the air temperature was like 25 degrees and it was a feels like of 16. I was like, what are we doing? Need to move to the South. Hey, Loretta. Good morning. Love the hoodie. Yep. So I got the Just Different hoodie pinned in the chat. It's also where you can find the Lane State University, Lane Train, all that sort of stuff if you're interested. Someone's about to get a diamond in the rough with Nuss. That's true. Tiger fan, any chance Mickey has nothing to do with the draft, asking for a friend? Look, I've y'all know how I feel about this with him. Like, if you want to take a victory lap because of last year's draft, okay. But if that's the case, then I'm going to look at 25 years of Mickey Loomis drafts, and it ain't good, by the way. Okay.
Little baby, Johnny, yes, Papa.
Okay, you got it. Little baby bum, Johnny, yes, Papa. Is that what you want?
That one.
That one. Which one?
No.
That's what I was doing, baby. What are you doing? What do you want? Are you on part 2? Okay, there we go. All right. Hey, Wayne, have a great day. Education, LSU fan. So Brant, I think that's Brant, right? So Brant, go check out Locked On LSU from yesterday. Here, I'll put the link. I'll put the link to the episode because I go through the whole thing and tell you everything I know that that the Athletic did not take the time to actually investigate to report. But the bottom line is Football is not involved. LSU athletics is not being investigated. It's one student athlete. I think at the crux is you have a student athlete who did a deal or multiple deals, and this person thought that maybe it didn't meet the threshold of $600 to report. Apparently it did, and whatever. LSU also is one of more than a dozen schools to receive this notice from the CSC, but LSU was the most prominent, which is why the Athletic did the report they did. So not really. No real worries. Clip, good morning, Drew. Good to see you yesterday, man. Billy, Dana, hey, Dad, good morning. We sometimes RV. Good morning, Matt. Awesome for Nuss. Saw your video on stage at KKDL. My son-in-law, Bo, is keyboard player for Mixed Nuts. Okay. They're great, dude. Mixed Nuts is so much fun. I kind of want to throw a party just so I can hire them. Abner, Matt, my wife and I watch Locked On and Morning Scone and AFR every day. You're so precious. Well, thank you, Abner. Very kind. Well, you get a lot of me, man, if you're watching Locked On, Morning Scone and AFR. But thank you, man. I appreciate it very much, Abner. Hey, Club, good morning. Shout out to my awesome wife, Kendall. It's her birthday. Shout out to Kendall. I've gotten the pleasure to meet Kendall and your beautiful daughters when T-Bob and I were doing Scone and Tea over at Curbside. Club and his family came a couple times out there. Beautiful family, man. Happy birthday to your wife, Kendall. I hope it's a great day. Cheers. Hey, Corey, good morning. Barry, good morning. Jesse, good morning. Eduardo, the Nuss bus. Could have been. Hey, Bo, if Nuss was healthy, we'd probably beat Oklahoma too. That's fair. Jack, good morning. Wayne, funny how things work out. Let's see. Sports talk guys in Knoxville don't seem to understand how LSU was about to go way over NIL budget with House settlement. They keep saying Kiffin's breaking the law. Don't care, and we'll sue. Okay. Well, feel free to send them any of my content explain. I send them the one about how LSU is. Here you go, Brand. Brand, you got some catching up to do. There's a video I did about the $40 million roster and how LSU afforded it. Here, I'm going to put that one in the chat too. So send this to your people. Okay? Here, just sent that one. Let's see. Leon, if Nuss were healthy, would have made the CFP. I don't know if you can definitively say that. But I do believe that if Nuss were healthy, the ultimate crux of my argument is that if Nuss were healthy, that you would have won enough to where Brian Kelly would still be your coach. Maybe you lose to A&M and Bama, but I think you beat Ole Miss, Vanderbilt, Oklahoma. That puts you at 10-2, and that very likely would put you in the playoff. Remember, Vanderbilt was 10-2, and they did not make it. Now, you'd obviously have swapped with Vanderbilt there, but I think healthy Nuss would have been 9-3. It's the question. I think Bama and A&M would have both been Would I mean, look, who knows, right? I mean, it's an interesting exercise. Um, um, so Tiger Creek Outdoors asked for 4XL. So I saw your note and I just texted Michelle Southern and asked if that's a possibility. I don't know if it is, if it only goes up to 3X. I think if it goes higher than that, it may cost more. Just as an FYI, I don't know that. I think that might be right. But anyway, yeah, if you want your Just Different hoodie or t-shirt. And also got my Lane State University design that Erica did is up there as well. So Lane Train, there's lots of stuff there. Morning, Scone, 45 degrees in Miami, feeling like 35. A lot of iguanas falling off the trees. So we were talking about that last night. Was telling me that I think Gramps was telling me that at dinner, that like when it's cold, the iguanas fall off of trees and they just lay there until it gets warm again. It's wild. Hey, Jeff, good morning. Kevin, what up, dude? How did you start the peptide journey? I learned about peptides from following Gary Brecka. So Gary Brecka is the one that 2 years ago I found his content, and that's what sent me down the deep dive and the rabbit hole of all the biohacking, the cold plunge, the sauna, the intermittent fasting. It's where I did my genetic methylation test, tested myself for deficiency. So I supplement with methylated supplements that for my personal deficiency. And as I kept going, hydrogen, water, all the different things that I've done, that I've learned. He was the one I heard talking about peptides, and so I started learning more and more. And so BPC 157 is the one I was most interested in because of its healing and recovery properties for my back pain. And so it's been life changing, man. So I take BPC 157 and I take NAD plus every day. And I think there's also like a giant misconception with peptides, even like the GLP ones, like talk about unique physique. Semaglutide, tirzepatide, those are peptides. And your body, it's not medicine. It's not like you take the medicine and it burns fat. Your body makes peptides naturally. And when you take a peptide supplement, it amplifies or magnifies your body's production of those peptides. So what the GLP-1s do is it's sort of a satiety peptide. So you feel satiated. You don't feel as hungry. So you eat less. That's the point of the GLP-1s. It's not like burning fat. It's it's activating a natural response in your body for satiety, so you don't want to eat as much. Anyway, peptides are amazing. There's peptides for darn near everything. For growth hormones, for mental clarity, men, women, I'm telling you, it's amazing what's out there when you go learn what's out there. I don't know why I'm losing my voice. Nuss being healthy can undo a bad run game, bad O-line, bad offensive coaching staff. Which is why you might have had a lower ceiling, but you also would have been in a dramatically different position. Because, like Jaden, right? Jaden covered up a lot. Hey, Bill. Good morning from Detroit. Bo. Volkanovsky. Jeffrey. Ashari, what's up, man? Been a minute. Have seen us win. Hoping he goes to a place to nurture his talent. That'd be awesome. Hey, Crystal, good morning. Go Tigers beat Bama today. Yep, the ladies got a game today. Today's the Lord's Day. Indeed. Amen. Trey. All miserable. Bailey, hope Nuss goes somewhere he can learn. Maybe the Rams, Packers. Yeah. I mean, I think Oh, cool. Love that. Big concert announcement tomorrow. In the Death Valley series. So you'll know Zach Bryan is coming to Tiger Stadium. Well, there's a series of concerts. There's 3 shows. Zach Bryan's the first. Tomorrow they're announcing the second show, which I don't know if it's out there. It might have already leaked. People may know that, but they're going to announce the next one tomorrow. Morning, Matt and Drew from Cedar Park, Texas, via Lake Charles. Mick, good morning. Hope you and the family have a blessed day. Thank you, Mick. What's the worst case result from the investigation? Player gets suspension. Yeah, suspension. I actually don't know what the CSC could do. I guess they could declare them ineligible. I don't know. Morning from Vegas, everyday listener watcher. Rarely catch you live with the time difference. Been hilarious to see everyone else butcher Prince Will's last name. It's not that hard. Uman Mielen. Prince Will Uman Mielen. Uman Mielen. Uman Mielen. Uman Mielen. Uman Mielen. Uman Mielen. It's not hard. 2013 if Mettenberg 2013 had a defense. I mean, I guess maybe I'm just a little hesitant there because having watched 2023, it makes 2013's defense seem much better. I mean, they got into a shootout in Georgia and lost. I don't think we could say the 2013 defense was awful. But they weren't elite, you know. Brandon, Boudin Slayer, Barry, O-line was eligible to kill. He's healed. Nuss was never the problem. Brett, LSU also had signed Antron Sieber from Independence High. Chose to sign with Hunter, are you going to the LSU game? The basketball game today? I am not. What? Then what? Where's Daddy going to go? Where's Daddy going Sunday? Church. And then where? Then Daddy and Drew go where? To the mall. Hey, you better watch out. You're going to get your toe caught up. Okay. What, baby? They go church, Erica? Yep. All right, please smash the like button at 523 watching live. Thank y'all so much. Appreciate it. Please smash the like button if you would subscribe to the channel. Facebook, like the page, share the post. Michael Cook, good morning. Gulf South, so we agreed Nuss was injured the whole season. Gulf South, again, I'm going to tell you, there's going to be a time when I can tell you what I know. It's not yet. I'm going to wait until Nuss ever does reveal whatever they feel like they found 2 months ago. But the point that I made and will continue to make is if Garrett Nussmeier had an oblique, a core, an abdominal injury, like a muscle injury in his core, a sprain, strain, a tear, something like that, that would have revealed itself on imaging. MRIs, x-rays, something would have revealed. And clearly that wasn't the case. So you can start to deduce certain things. Why, again, I promise you there will be a day where I can tell you. What? Go on. Where I can tell you what I was told during the season and before. But not yet. And it actually makes me think that what's happened actually makes me think what I was told was right. Cecil Collins, big what if, no doubt. I mean, there's plenty of those, right? Cecil, Tyrann Mathieu. But even when Cecil's gone, you still had Kevin Falk, who's the greatest running back in program history. Yeah. So Bo Ryan, 1980, died before ever coaching a game. What could have been there. That tragedy, of course. Jerry Stovall became the coach and led LSU to an Orange Bowl. But it is fair to wonder, what if, coming in from NC State, he was kind of the hot young name. Blake Baker would have been the coordinator in 2023. Would that season been any better? Yeah. I mean, I think I'm not saying you would have been elite, but that defense was statistically the worst in program history. So, yeah, I think it's very fair to say. I mean, and the one game more than any other that stands out was the game at Ole Miss that you lost 55-49 when you blew a 9-point lead in the fourth quarter. You had a 2-score lead in the fourth quarter and blew it. You scored 49 and lost. Les Miles would have never developed offensive play calling PTSD at Pearl State. I don't know if Les would still be the coach, but that is true. I mean, that season in 08, and Les said it. I mean, that season in 08 with all the interceptions fundamentally changed the way Les went about building a roster and game planning, because he just decided they were never going to lose games again because of that, because of, not taking care of the football. So they became run heavy defense, and they did it better than anyone. I mean, the most dominant season we saw in LSU history before 2019 was 2011, using that formula. Patrick, good morning. Philip. Ronnie. Dana, my boy says hi, watches every day on his iPad. He has cerebral palsy. Well, that's awesome. Well, tell me your son's name, man. I don't know if it's Dana or Adrian watching there, but or Adrian's your middle name. But anyway, good morning, Dana, and good morning to your son. Drop his name in here if you don't mind, Dana. We appreciate it very much. Deal with tennis elbow, don't play tennis. Go do BPC 157. Call Goodwood, do a consult, have them ship. Well, actually, I don't know if they can ship the peptides. Ask them, or find someone that can do BPC 157 and do an injection, do an on-site, a localized injection every day. So I do a very small subcutaneous needle in my lower back each day, like my upper glute around that area, and I switch sides, left, right, every day. All done.
So close.
So close.
What is it?
Hey, shout out to Grams. Yeah. Jay, you're not blocked. There you are. Never tells me to answer my questions. I see you there, Jay. Robbie, good morning, Matt. Who's on your wish list with the Saints in free agency? I've heard Romeo Dobbs. Wouldn't be opposed to that. Get a young veteran receiver. Really want to see them add a young veteran interior offensive lineman who could play left guard. If you're getting McCoy back at center, you've drafted your 2 tackles, right? For better or worse, you've got Cesar Ruiz at right guard. I would love to see them go add a young veteran free agent at left guard. Who? I don't know. I'd have to go look at who's likely to be, at the top of the list of free agent guards. Would love to see someone coming off a rookie contract. So you're talking about someone in their mid-20s that could play through their prime. It would certainly cost you, but you have someone who's got 4 or 5 years of NFL experience that you can give a 4 or 5 year contract to and solidify next to your, what you hope is your franchise left tackle. Those would be my 2 primary targets. Would be, give me a receiver and a left guard. Okay, there we go. Jason, awesome. Well, good morning, Jason. Thank you for watching. Cheers to you and your awesome mom. So she's got you watching Morning Scone. So y'all are all right in my book, man. Appreciate it. Good morning, Jason. Have a great day. Thought Jeff Ireland was in charge of the drafts. So not exactly. It's always going to be collaborative, but ultimately the general manager is going to be the one who, like, the buck stops with the GM, who's going to write the name on the card. The head coach, the director of scouting, which is what Jeff Ireland does, the area scouts, the assistant coaches, like, they'll all have a say when they put together their board, how they go about the draft process, in the draft room. But ultimately the buck stops with the GM. Irfan Sayad, Guy Morgan. Philip, good morning. Ryan Amanda Guidry, good morning. You know what? Thomas, we're running short of time, so I got to go get ready and get to church in a little bit. I got about 10 minutes left.
Parish Construction and Roofing. At Parish, we've got you covered. From the top of your roof, all the way down. Parish Construction and Roofing. Parish Built. Parish Built. Parish Built. From your hometown. ParishBuilt.com.
All right. Parish Construction and Roofing. Remember, if you need an orthopedist, go to Brock. Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. They're the best. brortho.com. You need a roof? Give us a shout. We'd love to help you out. Maybe you're noticing a water spot. Maybe you notice on your ceiling. Maybe you notice granules on the floor or on the ground outside after it rains down by your gutter spouts. Maybe you need gutters. Maybe you have a commercial building. Roof repairs, replacements, commercial, residential, gutter, soft wash. We do it all. Parish Construction Roofing, ParishBuilt.com, ParishBuilt.com. Unique physique, unique aesthetics and wellness. Restored Motions, RestoredMotions.com. Bocock Brothers Premium Cigars. Code MAT15, MAT15, MAT15 for 15% off your order. And get your hoodies. I got the Just Different hoodie from 929 Misfits pinned in the live chat. So I'll drop it in here again if you're interested. Y'all have seen me wear the Lane State University hoodie. This is the newest one. Shout out, actually, Rivers designed this one, which I love. It's the old the block LSU with the script Tigers. It's a takeoff of that old logo. So with the Kiffin, Just Different hoodies, t-shirts, they got the sweatshirt, because a lot of ladies were requesting sweatshirts without the hood. So they have the sweatshirts without the hood as well. Ooh. Yes. Parish is all over the state of Louisiana. And by the way, we did, I know I've announced it here, so I'll keep saying it, but the, we are now Parish. We are live now in Austin. So we acquired a company in Austin. Long story, but we acquired a company in Austin. So we are now operational as Parish, Texas, as well, in Austin. So if you live in Austin, know someone who's in Austin who needs a roof repair replacement, we can certainly help there as well. The only reason we haven't put out so you all are the first to know, quite honestly. We will put out a press release and all that sort of stuff whenever, because the long story short is we have to get the website ready for Parish, Texas, so people in Texas have the logo with the state of Texas instead of the state of Louisiana, and it's in Parish, but all this stuff. So anyway, what? Okay. That says not a bad idea. Yeah, how about that? So so Lane yesterday went to Houston on let's call it a little fundraising trip. So it was Lane. I want to get the full list, but I was told Lane, Baker Weiss, I think Jeff Martin went. I'm pretty sure I saw J.R. Belton also in a photo. So you all might have seen, I retweet, if you're on Twitter, I retweeted, EJ Kuiper. And EJ is the present CEO of FMOL, right? Which is the health system of which Our Lady of the Lake is a part. And EJ on his Twitter shared a photo of Lane at an event in Houston speaking at Post Oak, which, by the way, Post Oak Hotel is where they had the Bear Bryant Awards, where I was for my show a couple weeks ago, which is a gorgeous hotel. Oh my, what an amazing property that is. But that's for Tillman Fertitta's property. I think the Landry's offices are right there as well. But so Lane was there on a little bit of a fundraising mission yesterday. So I don't know who all was in the room. I'll work today to try to find that out. I think many people probably know that John Flores is in Houston. The man whose name is literally on the head coach's suite in football operations. So, like, the football coach, the head football coach's office, it says like the Flores family head coach football suite. Like, the man whose name is literally on the coach's office is in Houston. So I would imagine maybe there was a handshake there. That's just a guess. I really genuinely don't know, but I'm going to go to Houston. Probably want to meet John Flores, I would guess. But anyway. All right, I got a couple more minutes, y'all. Then I gotta go get showered and ready to get to church. We go to mass at 11:30. There you go. Trucker, Danny, great news for Nuss. Taylor, good morning, y'all. Andrew, Bill. If Kelly was there, we would be looking for a new OC in DC. Maybe so. That's a good point, Brandon. That's potentially part of the domino effect. Yeah. Barry, this will never not suck. I mean, if Oklahoma State takes care of business on that Friday night against Iowa State, LSU plays Oklahoma State in the Dome and beats them by 3 touchdowns. And the world is very different. Saban doesn't win that national championship. Les wins his second national championship. You know, how different is the world, right? Anyway. What, baby? That is a brew. I love you so much. But is your backpack done? Hey, come see. Come see. Let me look at your backpack. You showing a little shoulder? You showing everybody a little shoulder? Oh, almost. Not quite, but almost. Almost going to be. Not done yet. Almost done. Almost done. Okay. We'll see you later. Matt, want to say you're a legit dad, watching because you, as a person, show how real man role model. I'm a permanent fan of. Thank you, man. That's very, very kind. But I say it's very kind and thank you. But I say it all the time, man. Being Drew's dad is the best job in the world. And I think all of us who are dads who know that it's the best job we could possibly have and how we can impact the world is through the example we set for our children. Even if you're not a biological father, it's the example you can be to young people of how to be a loving, respectful man, husband, father to women, to the women in your life, to the children that you raise or help raise. Yeah, absolutely. I think that is our calling. So, but thank you. It's very kind of you to say, but cheers to all the dads and all the moms, of course, everybody who does a great job being a great loving example to our children. Hoping if Sam Levin is 100% come fall, Lane doesn't start until ready. Phil, he should be. I mean, he suffered that injury early. He had the surgery, I believe, in November. So, 8 to 10 months, I think on the long end, they're expecting he's ready for the summer. And might be able to do some 7-on-7 stuff in in spring, which would be great. All right. I got to get out of here. Y'all please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. So grateful to have all y'all here. I will, I'm going to go to church. I am going to get you a locked on today because I do want to do this Nussmeier episode that a lot of y'all are sort of chatting about today. So we'll do that. I'll have a locked on for Monday morning. I'm trying to decide if I want to do a separate episode talking about some of the staff or like save that for maybe the lead on Monday because we saw yesterday J.R. Belton promoted to assistant GM, but there's some other staffers I've been told are being retained. And I kind of want to go through that and the significance of that in the football staff. So, so we'll do all that. So, all right. Thank you all so much for being here. Please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. Have an awesome day and we'll see you.